Guys, I'm not going to lie to you. Most tabletop game companies suck these days. Wizards of the Coast trying to push out proxy cards for sale, trying to uprise prices on franchises that already exist, and additionally, removing the organized play scene, removing the dream of being a competitive player. Pokemon trying to keep up these addictive practices with their online digital client, while also making scalpers even more money. And don't even start with Yu-Gi-Oh! With their aging player base, and of course ridiculously high prices, even to this day to play the game on the standard mode. And I'm not going to defend indie card games also. Bad communication, mismanagement of funds, and of course unkept promises have made the majority of people lose trust in indie card games. It is not a good time to be a consumer, let alone an indie card game company. Is there any game company that exists in the tabletop space that is actually pro-consumer? Originally, I didn't really think so. Most companies are trying to make money, and if they follow the rules of capitalism, they will do whatever they can to just try to make the most money possible while ripping out the trust of their consumers. But today, I think there might be at least one pro-consumer game company that exists. And I was skeptical at first, I'm not gonna lie. But Speedrobo Games might be the change that we need to put some faith back into the tabletop card game industry. As of this video, I am proud to say that I am officially sponsored by Speedrobo Games as the first sponsor of this channel, and I do not take that lightly. You see, I do not get sponsored by any company. If BetterHelp sent me $1 million, I would not take their sponsorship, okay? If I choose to get sponsored by a company, I have to actually believe in the values of that company and believe in the company overall. Additionally, I do not like taking money from the company I'm being sponsored for. I usually like affiliate links or free product by the company rather than just being paid directly. Also, if you want me to sponsor you, there's a specific rule I need you to follow, which is I need to be able to talk trash about your product if it is trash. And Speedrobo Games is completely acceptable with that. Any games I review from Speedrobo Games, if they are bad, I'm going to outright say it is bad, or at least say what the target audience is. To me, that is the perfect kind of sponsorship, and in this video, I will be telling you guys why you should give Speedrobo Games a shot in 5 reasons. And by the way guys, if you guys like Speedrobo Games after watching this video and you want to try out any of their games, you can use my affiliate link, kevincrackscards, to get you free shipping and help support this channel. Thank you very much to Speedrobo Games again. But first off, how did my relationship with Speedrobo Games even start? To be honest with you guys, I never even knew this company existed in the first place, beyond the YouTube comments I kept getting of Speedrobo Games. Just lots of fan raving of Speedrobo Games for my videos, which I'm not gonna lie, that kind of, humbled me up a bit and just, made me blush inside internally. Because yeah, I put a lot of work into my videos and I'm glad I can resonate with some people. Originally, I thought Speedrobo Games was just a fan, as usual, but little did I know they're actually a company that makes indie games. And the more I checked out this company, the more I realized that they are actually different than a lot of other game companies that exist, especially the bigger card game companies that do exist. I've also gotten to talk a lot with the CEO of Speedrobo Games, Radin Vasey, and him and I are actually pretty similar in a lot of ways. Not only do we think the same on how indie games should be made, as you can see by him watching my videos, but him and I also come from R&D backgrounds, with me being the R&D director of metazoo, and him being the game design lead of Argent Saga. Him and I are just kind of one-to-one. I've even told Radon that, hey, if I made my own indie game publishing company, it would basically be Speedrobo Games. So it's almost like I'm sponsoring myself in a way the more I think about it, because Speedrobo Games really has the same values that I would have in a game company. But what exactly are those values, and why should you even care about Speedrobo Games? Here are 5 reasons for why this company matters and what they do differently. It should be noted that in these 5 reasons, I'm not going to be talking about the quality of their games, because let's be honest, Speedrobo Games probably makes good games, considering that they've sold thousands of dollars worth of games. Rather, I'm going to be talking about how this company treats their consumers and how they treat the people that they are affiliated with. To me, that speaks volumes to their values and for why you should support them. The first reason why Speedrobo Games is awesome is that they follow a consumer-first model. CCGs, board games, ECGs. These kind of products are overall pro-consumer and is generally what Speedrobo Games will push on their marketplace. While trading card games do exist on the Speedrobo Games marketplace, generally speaking, customizable card games and expandable card games are what they use for most of their products. If you don't know these terms, an ECG is an expandable card game, and this basically means instead of getting randomized packs of cards, you get all the cards that you would buy in a box so that there are no booster packs. There's no randomization to the cards. You get exactly what you pay for, and you always know what you're going to get. And this builds a lot of consumer trust into the product and of course the company. Speedrobo Games also uses the CCG model that they've made, which unlike collectible card games, they use customizable card games. This is similar to an ECG model where you have all the cards you would buy in the same box. The difference is the cards have different rarities and holos in every single box. So you always know what you're getting, you're just going to get different aesthetics and bling in those boxes. Board games in particular, like party games, are also very consumer friendly because you always know what you're going to get inside of the box. Having consumers know what they're going to get inside of a product is always going to be the best way to retain customers over time and make people happier overall. I'm very happy to see an indie game company like Speedrobo Games push for CCG, ECG, and board game models because the trading card game model overall is very archaic and doesn't work today. Trading card games, of course, very wasteful overall and very hard to get done right, as I've talked before on my channel. So these more consumer-friendly models are the better way to go for both the company, the consumers, and also the environment, if that matters to you guys. The second reason to support Speedrobo Games and why they're awesome is that they are a company that genuinely supports indie game developers. There's a lot of competition today with indie game developers, the big 3, and just games in general. So it's very refreshing to see a company that actually wants to support indie game devs, artists, and everyone affiliated with them. First of all, Speedrobo Games has a variety of games in their catalog, with each game kind of having a different niche. Different art styles, different flavors of play, party games, board games, trading card games, etc. Basically a game for everyone in Speedrobo Games' catalog. Not only that, but in their games, most of their games are made by different developers. There's tons of diversity in the mechanics of the developers and in how they execute their games overall. It's also very obvious that Speedrobo Games actually cares about getting a project to fund, rather than trying to milk that project for as much profit as possible. Most of Speedrobo Games' projects are at a very low baseline to fund on their Kickstarter, usually being $500 to $1,000. This is so important because Speedrobo Games actually cares about finishing a product rather than trying to just make it uber successful. They actually have realistic guidelines and standards for what success means for their developers. I love this, guys, because to succeed in the indie card game tabletop space, you don't need to make millions of dollars to do it. You don't even need to make $100,000. If you just get your product out there and you made $1,000 gross even, that to me is a success. It's a win. And seeing an indie game developer push for that standard of success is so refreshing to me. Speedrobo Games also supports other developers with their community server Tabletop Aces, which is a little unknown in my opinion, but it is one of the best Discord communities that exists right now if you want to develop tabletop games. Tabletop Aces is a whole server for artists, game developers, game publishers, etc. to network and also help promote and develop their games with feedback and the like. My favorite part of Tabletop Aces are the seminars they ran by, of course, the CEO of Speedrobo Games, but also by Jacob Jones of Speedrobo Games, who is also very underrated, by the way. The two of them together make very good seminars on how to market your games, how to not waste money. These seminars by Tabletop Aces are some of the best in the industry, and they're also completely free. So if you are trying to become a better indie game developer, please check out their seminars. I will link my favorite ones below in the comments of this video. The third reason to support Speedrobo Games is that they continuously support their players for all their games. It is so rare to see a CEO for a game company actually play the majority of games they have in their catalog. But time and time again, Radon is actually playing and participating in the tournaments for the games in his catalog, while also creating tournaments and tournament support for their games. Whether it be tabletop simulator tournaments that are very accessible, or even in-person tournaments with tournament kits, Speedrobo Games is always doing whatever they can to support their games. Additionally, they also have awesome community events. Recently, they had the Summer Slam event, which was a promotional event to get free cards just playing existing Speedrobo games. Fans of the company genuinely love this event, and this kind of event proves that the company and the players intrinsically love the products that they all make. One more thing I'll say on this topic is even if a game doesn't largely succeed, Speedrobo Games usually has expansion packs already planned for their smaller games and bigger games. Even if a community for a game only has, say, 20 people, 50 people, whatever, usually there's going to be an expansion for that game. So the fans of that game will have the support they want and to know that they are appreciated overall. It goes back to the point that for Speedrobo Games, a game is not just a vehicle to make money. It is a passion project with real communities and real people behind it. And they genuinely want to support any community and any fans for the games that actually exists. Reason number 4 to support Speedrobo Games is that they have great customer service overall. I'm just going to share their contact page for this, but this is great. If you have any missing parts for games, you can just contact them and they'll replace the parts at no cost. Radon is very, very good with customer service, fast communication, good shipping, all the stuff. A lot of times with these indie game companies, bad communication just exists, and it's really hard to just get simple products replaced overall. It is really good to see a CEO and their team actually want to see their consumers satisfied with good customer service. Me personally, I've actually bought from Speedrobo Games before being sponsored by them, and in general, their service, their packaging has all been great, and I've been really satisfied with their products overall. And the 5th reason for why you should support Speedrobo Games, which in my opinion is the most important reason, is their humbleness to say when they are wrong. As I mentioned earlier in the video, Radon is the kind of CEO to directly want people to say their products suck. You know, if any games suck, if any art suck, whatever, he wants to know. The team wants to know. And that to me is a sign that they always want to improve and that they actually care about the projects they push out. We just do not see humbleness today and authenticity like this in the tabletop space. All these game companies want to say that they are the best. They always want to say that no one else can beat them, that no one else is like them. But what we don't see is companies actually saying when they are wrong. Companies wanting you to say, hey, we are bad. They want to see any negativity to come out because they want to improve. Speedrobo Games is that company. They actually care about improving. They actually care about authenticity. And that is something we just do not see today. in the tabletop space. Like, I will harp on this point so much and so often. If a company cannot be authentic to its fans, to its developers, to its team, and also to themselves, they will fail. That is the end goal reality. They will get burnt out, the community will falter, etc. In my opinion, Speedrobo Games is the most authentic company on the tabletop game marketplace right now, and I think everyone should give them a shot just for that reason alone. And why not? I'll give an extra point number 6 for why you should support Speedrobo Games, which is that their team in general is awesome. They have awesome artists, awesome developers, an awesome community, awesome CFOs, awesome whatever. The whole team behind Speedrobo Games is awesome. They are all lovers of games. They all love playing different kinds of games, reviewing different kinds of indie games, reviewing popular games, smaller games. These people just love games, genuinely love games. Again, they don't just see games as a method to make money. They see games for what they are. Ways to make people happy. Ways to bring community. Ways to bring joy. That's the kind of company that I want to see supported overall in this space. Not just a company that sees games as a cash grab, as a way to just bring addiction to kids, as a way to manipulate the marketplace. This is a company that actually wants to create real, authentic experiences. And for that reason, I support Speedrobo Games. Well guys, that's what I have to say about me glazing up Speedrobo Games. Again, if you want to support my channel and Speedrobo Games, you can use the promo code kevincrackscards to get free shipping off any Speedrobo Games products and also help give some kickback to the channel. And one last thing, what kind of games should you buy first on Speedrobo Games? Well, honestly, you can't go wrong buying any of the products that look interesting to you, but in my opinion, the game that I'm really looking to play first the most is actually Necromancers because the art looks so good, and System Gate just also looks really good from the standpoint of it being an improvement of Duel Masters, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic, etc. So I'm looking forward to trying out those games, and I will be doing reviews of those games in the nearish future. What do you think of Speedrobo Games? Have you had a positive experience with them, a negative experience with them? Please let me know in the comments below. I always love hearing and responding to all your comments, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.